So we wanted to check back in with those same voters we spoke to see where they stand right now. So let's welcome back in April Chapman, who is planning to vote for Trump, and Sylvia Chen, who's planning to vote for Biden, and Mary Lofton-Soley, who was undecided. Thank you all for joining us. So I'm going to start with you, Mary, because last week you said you were undecided, but did anything change in your mind after that debate? Or are you going to give it some time?
Yes, it did. And to be perfectly transparent, within the first 15 minutes, I texted a friend of mine at a local radio station and said the Democratic Party should be charged with elder abuse.
Wow.
When he walked out, I can see his whole demeanor was just affected by whatever's going on in his head. I'm not a physician, so I don't know exactly what it is. But Biden has not been our president for a while. And I know the people behind him have known this. I'm trying to figure out why his wife is complicit with this and why they brought him on stage for this debate, because they clearly knew that his mind is misfiring constantly. And part of me felt sorry for him. But as Malcolm X says, the chickens come home to roost. So.
All right. So do you have a candidate in mind? Are you going RFK or are you going Trump?
I'm not going to say.
Okay. That's fair. We still have some road ahead of us. And we want to get to our other panelists here. You know, from Reuters to CNN, Business Insider, and Axios.
She doesn't want to say because she's afraid to say. Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, I have Georgia female voters giving their take on the debate. One's for Trump, one's for Biden, and one is, well, she didn't say who she's voting for. And I did a video on these ladies before, but you're going to want to stick around for this because one of these ladies, she changed her mind. Wow. But before we get into, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, show me some love. Also, visit me at ChatWithMeLindaB. Type it in as one word on Rumble. Let's get back to it.
Yes, we are seeing a lot of headlines expressing panic and concern within the Democratic Party over Biden's performance. As we just heard, Mary outlined some of the concerns that other people are saying. I want to start with you, Sylvia, on this. Do you think that President Biden should step aside? Last weekend, when we talked to you, you said you were going to vote for Biden no matter what to keep Trump out of the White House. Where do you stand now?
Yeah, I still believe that. And I think it's unfair to judge his whole presidency based on an hour debate. I agree. I don't think it was his best performance ever. But at the end of the day, Biden has done way more for this country. And Trump, although he might be a good speaker, everything he said was a lie, basically.
And people never seem to ask these people, what exactly did Trump lie about? I bet you Sylvia Chen would not be able to answer that question. Sylvia would be able to answer that. They never see. I am one of those probing people. I'm just like, you know what? You said Trump lied. Exactly what did he lie about? Specifically, what did he lie about? And what policies that Joe Biden implemented did the Biden administration implement that actually helped America? Name them, because the wide open border is a problem. People are being raped and murdered. I'm failing to understand, but I'm willing to listen to you now. Tell me exactly what Biden did that helped America. She's young, and the last time she said abortion, a woman's right to choose. These young liberal women, the liberal ones, are really concerned about reproductive rights, is what they call it. I just call it what it is. At the end of the day, you got a child that's been unalived, dismantled, painfully, so that they can just get to how. I know what you could do. Either keep your legs closed or learn to have sex that's protected. Woo! What a dandy idea.
So I don't know how that is instilling more confidence in people's votes for Trump when he's claiming all of these things and almost none of them are true. At the end of the day, I think people's biggest concern is the economy and inflation, and Biden's done more to lower that deficit that Trump added than anyone else has here. So, I mean, I'm still going to vote for Biden. I still think Trump, he says a lot, just like I said last week. I think he proved that in the debate. And I think he needs to be the case when he can say whatever he wants and just say it confidently. And that means people, for some reason, will believe him.
You know, Sylvia, I was down in the Village last night here in New York where Biden made a stop. And a lot of people that were lining the streets who were Biden supporters said, look, he had a bad night. But some people are talking about a possible replacement. We've heard Biden supporters say he is not going to step aside. But if that were to happen, who in your mind would be a possible replacement?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me who the replacement is. I'm voting for the Democratic Party. I think the Supreme Court decisions that came out in the past 24 hours kind of solidified that for me, as well as they're reversing a lot of huge cases that are really dangerous for the future of our country. And at the end of the day, Biden and his administration, again, are going to do more for LGBTQIA rights, women's rights, and just kind of humanity in general than Trump's administration will.
All right.
See, the things that she cares about, they're just not what I care about. So that's her choice. I don't care about the stuff that she just named, the alphabet stuff and reproductive rights. I don't care about that. I just don't care about it. But, you know, people choose what they choose, what's important to them. But those are not kitchen table issues, what she just named. Meaning, you know, inflation, the price of eggs, bacon, you know, groceries, gas, interest rates, the border, crime, security of the country. She's not naming anything important, you know, as far as national security and the kitchen table issues. So, Sylvia, you know, you're young, maybe when you get older and you have to face those issues, those kitchen table issues head on, that maybe those things will mean more to you.
You know, Black voters will be a crucial voting bloc this election. We've been talking about this for weeks. When asked about their impact on the Black community, here's what both candidates had to say. And then, April, I'll get with you.
They made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is, there's more small Black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time.
The fact is that his big kill on the Black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking Black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking Black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
Boy, that has been a big issue the last few days. April, do you think President Trump has done more for the Black community? And what do you make about that remark about Black jobs?
Well, absolutely. I do think that President Trump has a proven track record of being a GOP candidate that is actually interested in all Americans, but he made a concerted effort to reach out to the Black community. Under his first administration, we experienced opportunity zones, funding for HBCUs were increased. I, as a small business owner, experienced overwhelming prosperity under his administration. Oftentimes when Trump communicates, you know, when he uses certain phrases and terminology, it has this ability to trigger some people. However, I just personally cannot get baited into an emotional conversation about choice of words and verbiage and language. He's not a polished politician. He's just a regular person that happens to be a businessman that is very successful.
Mary,
so the Black voter comment didn't offend me at all. And in fact, I think we missed out on seeing what his second term could have been with the Platinum plan that he presented to the Black community, which was a viable plan of actual tangible things that he was willing to offer the Black community. And we didn't get to experience that because 80 million people voted for President Biden.
Mary, I want to get your take on this as well as you listen to both candidates talk about the Black vote.
So I just want to say, April Chapman, who's voting for Trump, that Platinum plan. See, this is what the left-leaning media, the clefty lefties in the media, the propaganda media wouldn't say. They would never bring this up. But the man came up with a platinum plan, a viable plan. He reached out to Black Americans. The only part that I heard him say when I was in my TDS years was, what do you got to lose? Your schools are stuck, or whatever, the way he said it. I can't remember the exact verbiage that he used, but they never showed us all of the things, and I was watching the wrong news, so I was not informed. I was misinformed, and all the things that Donald Trump, he's for all Americans. We can forget about certain groups. He's for everybody. Everybody. If you're American, he is for you. He wants to make sure we come first. Just like you have a home with your kids in there, you're going to take care of your kids before you take care of someone else's, I would hope. And that's how he is. And so they're going to call him a bigot or an anti-immigrant because he wants to deport those people and for them to come in the right way, which is nothing wrong with that. We vet people before we let them in our homes. So should not we vet them before they come into our country? Because we've got drugs and certain things coming across that border. Let no one fool you. And it is destroying our country from within. And yes, they send those illegals to the Black neighborhoods. I did another video some months ago on NBC with 4 Black Trump supporters. And they were at that Black Conservative Federation where, Donald Trump made the comment about his mugshot, and the media went crazy about that. And everybody all 4 of those Trump supporters said what he said did not offend them. They were talking about whatever he says in jest, but the fact of the matter is he did well when he was president. I don't care about stuff that somebody says in jest. When I gotta focus on groceries and things like that. We need to leave our feelings out of it when we vote. We need to vote facts. Vote based on your experience, side by side, and say, okay, was my life better under Trump or better under Biden? And leave emotions out of it, because the media is going to get you all worked up and call, Trump a racist. They're going to call him that. He's not that, because he was so busy trying to help all people and reaching out very strongly to Black Americans, because we're the voting bloc that votes Democrat in excess of 90% of the time. So a lot of focus is on us because of that, because other groups of people don't vote like that. And we're a monolith. They're trying to say Black people are not a monolith. When you vote one way in more than 90% of the time, that is by definition a monolith. Unfortunately.
Well, I think that the Democrats have done a very good job with, they are a social elitist. So they put a narrative out there that a group to the left, white Americans to the left, say white Americans on the Republican side are racist, which absolutely makes no sense. I think it's very condescending. They have they use racism like a dog whistle for us. And the Republicans have a problem with, they don't believe that racism exists or that we are on a level playing field, which I have a problem with them. Not like my Democratic friend. I am not voting for a party. I'm voting for the person. And I will not be voting for Joe Biden or the Biden administration or anyone on their ticket for the fact that the manipulation that they've been doing for the last few years and the gaslighting of America. I don't know how I'm going to vote. I just know I'm not going to vote for the Democratic Party for that reason. And no, I am not a victim. Words don't trigger me. My Blackness, I feel, is a fortunate thing for me. So it doesn't bother me. Even if you are racist, that's your business. You're not crossing my threshold. So that's not a problem in my mind.
All right.
Woo. Now, see, that's the one that changed her mind, because Mary was stuck on whether or not to vote for Biden or Trump. And she said the last time that certain things about Trump's personality, but then she said, wait a minute, I'm trying to think, does that even matter? And she gave more negatives towards Biden. And I'm so glad she mentioned the fact that they're social elitists on the left. They use racism as a dog whistle. They use racism to make Black people feel like victims. She says she's not a victim. You know, if you racist, you're not crossing my threshold. You know, I mean, if somebody is racist and they don't do anything to you, what does it matter to you? But I don't think people who are conservative are racist. I think they're less racist. I think there's more racism on the left. That's just my personal opinion. People who are lefties, to me, they are more racist. They just are. They always want to paint the conservative side as racist. I think we're less racist. I think we are less racist. You guys tell me what you think. You know, you might disagree. She did say that Republicans act like racism doesn't exist. I found that they don't believe systemic racism in the form that it can be enough to keep you from doing and being what you want to be in life. And maybe they don't word it correctly. But anyway, yeah, she changed her mind. Now she's determined not to vote for Biden. Or in none of them. No, she's not doing it. She's not doing it. So now she's not going to tell us who she's voting for. And because she's not saying, and there's a stigma with being a Black Republican, I believe she's voting for Trump.
Mary, staying in the undecided lane for now. We're also taking a look at the independent candidate RFK Jr. He spoke with News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas as part of our special debate coverage. I'd like you all to take a listen.
70% of Americans said they wanted me on that stage. About between 70 and 80%, depending on what poll you read, do not want to have to choose between President Biden and President Trump. They are tired of choosing the lesser of two evils. They want, another choice. And, hopefully some of them are going to start looking at me.
All right, Mary, what do you say? Do you think you'll start looking at him as a potential option?
Oh, I've been listening to RFK Jr. and Cornel West, who I know personally. I've been listening to him as well. So it would be the same thing as I would write in a vote. And I did that in 2016. I wrote in Prince's name. And I could do that again. So voting for them is like voting for Prince. Neither one of them is going to win. I'm not a Trump hater at all. I think that he will go into the White House and do what he says he's going to do. I find Trump to be a little off-center, and I don't mean that as a pejorative. I mean that as a redeeming trait, that he will not kowtow to the social elitists of the left. And I think that he will look at the economy, and that's what needs to be done. We're on the cusp of a third war. And I think he will try to alleviate that.
Right.
We must understand that he only has 2 years as a viable president and 2 years as a lame duck president. Mm-hmm. And so it's not the end of the world if he is elected. I think it would be the end of the world if Joe Biden is elected, because I don't know who's behind the curtain making decisions for him.
All right, Mary. Okay. First, I want to get to April and Sylvia and ask you guys about the next.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You don't know who's pulling the strings. I did my Obama the puppet master. Yeah, somebody's pulling the strings. It's not Joe. He's not controlling anything. He's not over anything. Everybody's telling him what to do.
Debate is set for September 10th. So at this point, when we step back and we take a look at what just happened, April, I'll start with you. Do you think it's necessary, and do you think it's even going to happen?
I do not think a September debate is on the table. Honestly, the debate from the other night, it showed me more now than ever that it is difficult and people should not be trusting the mainstream media, because so much time has been spent lying to the American people about how things are not that bad and that President Biden was doing a great job and that he's strong and there's nothing wrong with him. And we as a nation, we witnessed what many of us have been saying for the past 3 years, is that in his humanity, he's just not doing well. And that is okay. If we say that we care about all Americans and we care about this country, what kind of love, compassion, and care have we demonstrated toward our commander-in-chief, regardless of his politics? For the Democrat Party to not give their constituents an option and primary President Biden shows me who the real dictators really are. We're not going to have a debate in September. I don't believe he's going to make it.
It is going to be really interesting, Sylvia, if this is going to move forward. It is on the books. What do you think is going to happen, Sylvia? And will it matter to you?
No, it won't matter to me. I think it's possible they'll have the debate. It's possible they won't. Again, I don't think anything is going to change my mind in terms of what I'm voting for party-wise. If we have a new candidate, I think it'd be interesting to see them. But at the end of the day, again, I think Trump's administration is way more dangerous for the future of this country. And interesting, April made a comment about HBCU funding earlier. That actually came from the Obama administration and not Trump's. So I'd like to see what policies Trump has in place that have actually...
That's not true.
All right. Well, we'll work this out.
Have you attended an HBCU? Because I have, and that's not true.
All right. We're going to leave it there. Go ahead.
Again.
Last word, Sylvia. Go ahead.
Again, I haven't seen any actual policies that Trump has put in place. His administration may have upheld some that were done before, but at the end of the day, the Biden administration is the one that has helped this economy. Trump's administration, again, added a deficit to our budget. Like, I don't know, economically, Trump lies so much. I'm sure it's easy to believe.
Sylvia, we got to leave it there, you guys.
What exactly does he lie about, Sylvia? Can you answer that? And Trump did provide permanent funding for HBCUs, record low unemployment, secured the border. There were no wars, low interest rates, food and gas were very affordable, far more affordable than it is now. Opportunity zones for minority-owned businesses. And then he presented a platinum plan. So he did a lot, and they had to deal with them trying to impeach him twice. So yes, I just wanted to share that with you all. You saw Mary, the lady with the afro. She actually, again, I said earlier, she was stuck between Biden and Trump. Now she's definitely not voting for Biden. So I really believe she's going to vote for Trump, but she doesn't want to say it. So when you find someone that say, I'm not going to say they voting for Trump, because there's a stigma to be a Black Republican. So much so we just want to hide a little bit. I don't care. I'm grown. I do what I feel like I need to do. And I don't seek anyone's approval but the Lord's. Amen. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, check out childlightcandles.com. This is a Christian veteran-owned company where 25% of their profits go to veterans and their families. Input the discount code LindaB. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as they always say, march on, warriors.